Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the one and only your boy, Honcho J23, and you are now tuned in to the latest, hottest, most episodic show on all social media platforms. That is Independent Sing the Podcast. I want to take this opportunity right now to welcome you guys to the platform, welcome you guys to the show. We're going to have a dope show today. We got a dope artist in the building. She's been on my podcast already, and I definitely can't wait to chop it up with her and bring her back. She is always full of life. She is full of joy and love and positivity. I love everything about her. I love the way she speaks. I love the way she carries herself. I know she gonna laugh when she see this, but she's already in the building. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please, I want you to welcome my guest back to the Independent Singer Podcast. The beautiful, the lovely, the talented, the sexy, the gorgeous, the wonderful, the magnificent, the phenomenal Deja Monet. Let's get it. What's good out of the box? What up? What up? What up? What's going on?
Hello, how are you?
How are you? Good to see you
Good.
again.
You too. Thank you for having me.
No, my pleasure. But how you been doing?
I've been well, just working. I got this new single out. I'm happy to be here on the podcast. This is amazing. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Hey, anytime the door is open, you already know.
Yeah, thank you.
First of all, like I said, I want to again welcome you back to the platform. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be able to sit here with you and chop it up with you as always. So real quick, for all the new people that don't know you and never heard of you, let them know who you are and all that good stuff. And then we're going to jump right into it.
Yes, so my name is Deja Monet. I'm a recording artist, singer, songwriter from VA to Greensboro, North Carolina. So I'm just here to just give the people what they want, great music, great quality, everything of that nature. So tap in with me.
Okay. Well, with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. So first things first, I've been, of course, I've been watching you and I've been seeing all the progress you've been making and all the big moves you've been making.
Yes.
Definitely salute to you. So my first question, let's talk about Green Light. You came out with this new thing called Green Light. Talk us a little bit about that, how that came about.
Yes, green light. Just working in the studio, honestly. I had wrote this record. I mean, I heard this really dope beat, and I was like, "Yo, this is pretty dope." It was upbeat, and normally my songs are pretty, mellow. So I wanted something with some energy, fun, energetic, and I was with my engineer. We were coming up with some melodies. I was like, I think I really like this one. And as I continued to hear it, I was like, there's this really dope artist named Benji from Yanceyville, North Carolina. Shout out to him. I thought that he was a great asset to the song. He did his thing on there, and we just collaborated together, made a dope record. Green Light is out right now. Make sure you check it out.
Make sure y'all guys go and copy it, go and stream it. So with Green Light, what was the motivation and the message behind Green Light? What type of thoughts and ideas did you put into creating Green Light?
Yeah, Green Light is one of those records where us as females, we may have that one person that we gonna stay down for no matter what.
Right.
And Light is just that, is definitely that song. Like, no matter what, I got you. Nobody's better than me. I'm a ride for you till the wheels fall off. And that's basically what that is for. Just being a down the ride type of female, honestly.
Okay. So now let me ask you this. So, with the current stuff, what's been going on as of late, how have you still been progressing aside from Green Light, but how else have you been progressing throughout this pandemic that we're in?
Really just trying to find new ways to be creative, trying to tap into different type of sounds and things of that nature.
Okay.
New artists, keeps your creativity flowing, staying in the studio. I'm fortunate enough to have a dope, engineer who allows me to come to the studio and things like that. And just stay consistent in that studio. And, we kind of build together. Just trying to, just stay with I don't want to say stay with the wave, but just,
right.
Just focusing on what's going on now and not letting really just distract you, you know what I mean?
Most definitely. All right, so now let me ask you this. So, and out of all the music that you've ever created, has there ever been that one song that that was really, I want to say the word is sentimental or deep to you, or has there been any song that anyone else has been able to let you know, like, like this song really touched me and really motivated me, whatever the case may be?
Yeah, you mean like one of my songs? Is that
Yeah,
right?
one of your songs. Yeah.
I would say They Don't Notice. I feel like They Don't Notice is one of those songs that every person can relate to, whether you're an artist, a student, just someone that has a dream. They don't notice because we all got to start from somewhere. So when we're trying to get something off the ground, it feels super hard to try to get people to like, hey, this is my craft, I want you to see it. So a lot of artists have came to me like, yo, I feel this same way. They may not notice you right now, but if you continue to put, your best foot forward, continue to be creative, continue to be innovative, they're going to notice you. So don't stop right now, keep going, and they will notice one day.
Okay, so real quick, how long did it actually take you to really um tap into your full potential, as I like to use the term? Because a lot of times, they say, you start off when you're little, then you work your way. But was there any point in your life where it was like that for you, or it was just something that was just giftedly for you?
Music has always been a part of me since I was very little. I would be around, singing around the house, little tunes here and there. But it really took me to tap into my full potential. And honestly, I'm still trying to get there. I know that I'm going to, but I'm
Right.
still tapping into that right now as we speak. But honestly, it took me believing in me, believing that I can actually go forward with this, and trying to take those negative thoughts out of my mind. Like, I can't do this, taking I can't out of the scenario and saying I can,
Okay.
so really, that really plays a part, just believing in you.
Okay, okay. So now, Mesh, just how long did it take you to finally realize that, not only was music was your thing, but for you to start realizing that, yo, now everybody now is paying attention to who you are and really coming into terms with who you are and what your music represents and what it stands for and what, the motivation and the hard work that you put into it. How long did it take you to realize that?
Every day, it takes every single day to realize like people actually follow my movement. The comments, my DMs, people don't understand how much it really means to an artist for someone to tell you like, hey, your story motivates me. You as a Black woman motivate me to want to conquer my dreams. Those type of things make me realize I'm not just doing this for myself, I'm doing it with a purpose, I'm doing it with a cause. And I continue, and that's why I really stay strong, and try to keep pushing forward, because I do have people that do follow my movement. So that is really when I tapped in and started to notice like people actually do rock with the movement. So it's awesome.
Okay, okay. So real quick, I want to kind of switch gears for a second, because when you think about, you know, as a person, when you do find that potential within yourself, and you find what it is that you want to do, it really can be an amazing thing. But what I want to know from you specifically is, because, when it comes to like family and things of that nature, and seeing how you're, all over the place, how is your family and people that's really that know you better than anybody? How do they take all of this, and knowing that you're, as I like to call it, a superstar, if you will?
Yeah, my family's very supportive. Anytime I, need feedback, they're right there. They're very happy that I'm actually taking forth something that I love, something that I've always talked about. And they just want to see me do great and continue to be motivated. And anytime I need them, they're definitely there. So I appreciate them. Shout out to the fam too.
Most definitely, most definitely. So now, another thing I want to get into is, now, our for North Carolina, our governor has finally decided to kind of start opening things back up, worldwide. So what I want to know from your perspective, what's your thoughts on this? Like, with him trying to open the world back up and people getting back to, what they're used to, the performing and the shows and venues and things like that. How do you feel about that?
I mean, honestly, I feel really great. The only thing is, I just want people to be responsible, when they are doing their events, hosting things of that nature, because COVID is still alive and well. And so many people have been affected by this terrible, terrible virus. And I just want people to know that, we all have families. So wearing your mask in these type of events could make a difference.
Right.
So just be responsible. If you're going to be out, have fun with your friends, that's cool. Just be responsible while doing it. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Okay, I feel that. I feel that. So another thing I want to get into, also speaking on, the mental. I'm not the mental, but the health as health is concerned. They've come out, with these, and they've been talking about it off and on, the vaccines and things of that nature. Do you yourself plan on getting vaccinated and making sure that you're secure? Because it's a lot of people that's saying, they don't know, they're thinking about it. What I mean, I don't know if it's gonna make me sick, if I'm gonna die. Like, what is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a very great question. However, right now, I just really want to see how this thing plays out. I just want to make sure that I will be healthy and well, after I take it. So I'm definitely thinking about it. But however, right now, I just feel like it's a little too soon to go out and, take the vaccine. I just want to make sure that everything with it is great. I'm sure that the government has their best interests at heart, but just taking precautionary, I feel that I just want to just wait just a little bit.
Okay, I
Yeah.
feel you on that. I definitely feel that. All right, so now my next question: when can we be expecting another album or another EP, another EP from you, other than Greenlight?
Yes, yes. Well, first and foremost, music, I'm always creating music. I have definitely been trying to get an EP together, but I want to make sure that the music that I put out is definitely going to be the best work. I don't want to just, be that artist that just drops EPs every month or every 6 months.
Right.
Quality work. Anybody that knows me, I'm very, very passionate about the quality of things. So I want to make sure that I have a great body of work to give to my support system. But it's definitely in the works. I got more singles coming out too.
Okay. Okay. So now, when it comes to collaborations, has there been anybody, you know, out here that you've discovered or that you've come across that you're like, yo, like that? I think that would be a really good collaboration. I think that would be a really good, song to be, together on.
Yes. There's a lot of dope artists here in North Carolina. A lot of people are doing their thing. Um, I have, I definitely, there's a lot of artists really, and it's just so many in my mind right now that I would love to work with, that would love to work with me as well. Um, I would say definitely Excel. She's
Okay.
dope. I definitely would say her. Rashad the King is dope.
Okay.
Just looking to just a lot of people. More collabs with my guy Benji. A lot of
Okay.
in the in North Carolina and elsewhere as well.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Now, now I kind of want to piggyback, going back to Green. Like, when you was creating that song, like, other than what you told us already, you know, has that song, when the moment that you dropped it and released it or whatever, what was the response from the people that heard the song and shared it and liked it and commented on it? Like, what was some of their responses to you putting out that EP on that song?
Yeah, Greenlight is totally different. And I knew when I put it out, it was like a different side of Deja Monet. Deja Monet is more mellow again,
Okay,
more sentimental. And this one, I got a little curse words in there. I'm a little, the approach is different. And a lot of people say, yo, I really like, the approach that you're going with. They really, really, the response is amazing. So just keep streaming it, guys. Thank you.
okay. Now, on the topic of that, I happen to see, a bit few in pieces of the, the video that you did for Greenlight, and I was surprised because I said, "Wow!" Like, I see, you were like in this like boss like type role. So I gotta ask you, what was that like? Being on the set, being able to, tap into another side of yourself that really just said, okay, this is my song, this is what I'm bringing to the table. Like, this is gonna be one of those songs and videos that people are gonna be able to really continue to listen to. So what was that like, being in a type of environment and being able to record a video like that?
Yeah, Greenlight definitely allowed me to be a different side of myself. I was badass, and it
Okay.
good because in my regular day life, I'm super, chill. I love to be around people. I am,
Right.
you know what I mean? So
Right.
being able to be badass and, just to shoot, that type of side of me was very, very fun. I worked with a dope director named Steph the director. This is my second video with him, and just working with him, he's giving me creative ideas, and my confidence in the video definitely shows because it was a lot of fun doing it.
Right.
So
Right.
you know, that- it
So
is
so now. All right, so let me ask you this, and I appreciate you for speaking on that. So let me ask you this. So, out of all the videos that, I'm sure myself and others have seen, when you're going into a music video, like what is your mindset? What is your process like going into that music video, knowing that, you're going to be front and center of the camera, all eyes are going to be on you, watching you, what is going through your mind in that moment, in that process of, with the camera being on you and things of that nature?
That's a really great question. I honestly have a lot of things that go through my mind. Is everybody in the right place? Is my makeup, is my hair?
Right.
I have a great team of people who make sure I'm straight, but I
Okay.
think about this in the back of my mind, like, what in the world, what's everybody else doing? But really, I have to tune everybody else out and really give what the character or give what the song needs,
Okay.
because lose your train of thought, it could really give a bad, scene. So
Right.
just make sure that you're focused is very important.
Okay, okay. So real quick, and I think I asked you this one time before, but for all the new people that don't know you, talk us a little bit about your growing up. What was growing up like for you, and finally coming into your own as a woman? Like, what was that process of transition like for you?
Yeah, as a kid, I always dreamed really big, being a lawyer, just being a successful woman, period. I always strive to be the best that I could be. And as I grew older, I found a love and a passion for music, and I would, you know, be sheltered in my room, just writing thoughts out of my, like, just out of my, just thoughts that I would write
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And growing up was really great. I had a loving family, my mom, grandma, sister.
Excuse
Just
me.
being in a loving family and them actually believing that I could do what I can do really helped me grow into who I am today too. So yeah.
Okay, so now talk us a little bit about your school days, because I'm sure school was pretty fun for you and things of that nature. Were you more of the popular kid, or was you more one of those ones that was more laid back, more reserved, just chill to yourself?
Definitely the chill to myself. I was one of the kids that I knew everybody, but I didn't hang with everybody. I was No, let me reword that. I knew everybody and I could hang with everybody, but I chose to just kind of be in my own little vibe, be in my own little circle. And if you wanted to
Okay.
be towards me, you could. So yeah.
Okay, okay. So now, what? Like, I want to just a quick recap for all people that's tapping in. This is your boy Honcho J23 talking with the lovely and the beautiful Deja Monet. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about some of her things, some of her life and her music and things of the nature. So I hope you guys are enjoying this podcast. So the next thing I want to get into is, and I asked you one time before, but when it comes to musical influences, who have been your musical influence? Who've been your idols that you've grew up listening to and watching, and saying to yourself, like, one day that's gonna be me. Like, I'm gonna be following in that same path.
Yeah. So I always tell people, if you know me, Chris Brown, Beyonce, they're my two biggest influences, and not just because of their music, but who they are as artists. So for Chris Brown, he can do it all. He's got pop, R&B. I want to be a versatile artist, so I love that aspect of Chris Brown. And then you got Beyonce, the hardworking. She only cares about the quality of her work and what she's giving her, her supporters. I love that she thinks like that. And also she's a really great performer as well. So just aspiring to be a great performer, those are the biggest performers in the industry right now. And also, I never really shone a light on my family. My family was very musical. I have uncles that play guitar. My grandma's sung in church. My cousins, it's a very musical background in the church and stuff like that. So they play a very big part in, my music as well.
Okay, so now let me ask you this question. So when the time comes, because it will come,
Yes.
and you join that conversation of one of the greatest to ever do it. What is going to be your motivation? What is going to be your process? Knowing that you're in that conversation, to know that you're among some of the greatest of the greats. Like, how would that make you feel to know that you're that artist and you're really out there putting in the work?
Honestly, that would mean the world to me to know that I've worked hard enough to be a topic of conversation amongst the greats. That'll let me know that my hard work work paid off, and that I'm just doing something right to be in the mix of that conversation. But also just being grounded and humbled and knowing that I don't want to stop here. I want to keep going.
Okay, okay. Now, earlier, just a few minutes ago, should I say, you just spoke about Chris Brown and Beyonce. Now, I'm sure that you would absolutely love to, get in the studio with them and lay down the track. How would that be? To, if you ever got that opportunity and that chance, what would that mean to you to know that you're in that element with them and being able to do what you do?
I mean, that would be amazing. And I'm not going to lie, I would probably be a little nervous, but when you have that type of people around you, you want to definitely put your best foot forward. But that would be amazing. That would mean life to me, to be in the studio with the greats, people that I actually look up to in this music. That would mean everything to me.
Okay. Now I gotta ask the biggest question. Now are you for yourself? Are you usually starstruck, or are you usually more reserved and just kind of just go with the flow?
I am not sure. I have been in passing. I've been like walking distance from Chris Brown, and uh, I was a little starstruck, like maybe a little starstruck.
Okay.
No, I feel like now that I am an artist, and I probably be a little bit more reserved because you don't want to look crazy to anybody.
True.
So I'll
True.
probably be a little reserved, and then when I get home, I'll probably go crazy.
Okay. Okay. So look, let me ask you this. So being at the top of the food chain where you are right now, has there ever been a moment, where there be a fan or supporter that have come up to you and just really was just basically go back to what we was just talking about being starstruck. Has there
Mhm.
ever been anybody that has come up to you and be like, "Yo, I adore you. I like your music. I love what you're doing." Like, have you had that type of interaction with the people yet?
I've had two with this type of scenario. And one time I was at the grocery store, and it's kind of embarrassing. She was like, "Hey, you don't know me?" I'm like, "No, not really. I don't."
Right. Right.
But she was like, "Yo, I love your music. Keep doing what you do." And that really made me feel good. I greeted her with love and everything because I love my supporters. And if you guys walk up to me, I'm like the humblest, nicest person. I'm never going to turn anybody down. And then the second thing, I actually was on a business call and I said my name, and this person was like, "Hey, are you the Deja Monet, like that does music and stuff?" I'm like,
Right.
"Yes." And this type of scenario was super crazy. I'm not gonna lie, it was with my bank, and
Right.
she actually noticed me. So that was crazy too. And she just showed love and everything too. So it's awesome.
Okay. Okay. So real quick, let me ask you this. So when the time comes, and again, as I said before, because you will get to that point, will you be that type of artist that, like you said before, is the friendly type, that more reserved, that people can just easily walk up to you and just have a conversation with you? Because you have some artists, of course, quote, that want to be uppity and high class and feel like they don't want to be spoken to or whatever. But how do you feel about that, being in this industry, being an artist, and knowing that you do have supporters and family and friends that support you? Like, how do you feel about that?
I feel like it's a limit to how you respond to people. And what I mean by that, make sure you give people their space. But me as an artist, I'm going to never turn anybody away because at the end of the day, we're all human. We're all supposed to be treated with respect. And
Right.
show me respect and you show me true genuine love, then I'm gonna only show that back to you because you never want to hurt someone's feelings by just completely shunning them out. So I wouldn't be that type of person. Just love everybody and just try to be as nice as possible.
Okay. Now,
Hmm.
quick question: when it comes to advice, we have there again. We have so many young up and coming talents, so many up and coming artists that's tapping into the game. What advice do you have for all the people that are watching, for all the up and coming listeners that are tuning in? What advice do you have for them?
The number one thing that I would say is definitely stay consistent. And even me as an artist, staying consistent with everything that's going on. I know your time elsewhere, but if you're going to be dedicated to this music, you have to be consistent because we're in an era where uh, attention span is very limited. So be
Right. Very.
Yes. So that's why you got the TikToks where they got the 15 seconds and stuff like that, because people's attention is like out of this roof. And definitely being dedicated to it, making sure that you put your best foot forward because you never know who's watching you. I always say quality over quantity because you never know who's watching you. And that's one thing that I always stand by 100%.
Okay, so my next thing, I want to kind of flip the question back on you. What type of advice have you gotten in your life that has kept you motivated, kept you going, kept that driving, that fire in you? Like what advice has that been?
If you never try something, you will never know. You can't be afraid of no's. I've been told no a million times, but it doesn't stop me. I know, and you have to also you got to be realistic as well, especially coming out. You can't expect everybody to just gravitate towards you if you don't put in the work. So I just got to keep going. But you will never know if you don't try. Don't be afraid of failure. Just go ahead, go out there. You may not know where you're going. You may not know what's next, but just do it. And if you fail, you can.
That part. And see, this is the thing that I love so much about you because, you spoke about being humble, you spoke about being genuine and things of that nature. Very rarely do you find that in people, so to be able to, hear this from you and to just sit back, as myself and take all this in, it really is amazing and it's mind blowing because, like I said, it's like they use this phrase when you find that one genuine person, definitely stick with them because they're creating good vibes and positive energy. So you definitely want to make sure that you keep that train and keep that flow going.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you.
Most definitely. So real quick, we spoke about verses the last time that you was here. You gave me your thoughts on that, but we once again they've been doing it even bigger and bigger. So I got to know from you, these last few battles that we've had thus far, what has been your thoughts on that?
I absolutely love them. I feel like it's for the culture, honestly. Like, you see these artists that we grew up with, and some of them may have not been in the spotlight, but it definitely takes you back to a time where times were like so amazing. Like, oh my gosh, I remember that song. It's sort of like, when your parents are like, oh, I remember that throwback. It really puts you in the mind of that. And just to see so many people, come to the lives, go to Apple like TV and stuff like that and just come together like a big family. It's
Right.
amazing. Like it's like you're just with a big family of people just watching great content, music. And my favorite one this far is still the Monica versus Brandy one. I still love that one.
Yes, 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 yes. So speaking on that, so who do you see next stepping into that spotlight? Going one on one with each other. Who do you see, or who would you like to see?
Mm,
In a versus.
that is a really hard. I honestly would love to see hmm I don't know. Maybe like Chris Brown and Usher, but Chris Brown already shot that down. But I mean, I would really love to see them together. I mean, I don't know. I would like to see it.
Okay,
It's interesting
okay,
to think about. So, yeah.
okay. I feel that. So now, once again, switching gears, I want to get into mental health because mental health is a huge part of what's going on in today's society,
Mhm.
and so many of us deal with so many different things, but what I want to kind of captivate on is, when we have so many people out here right now that are dealing with anxiety, dealing with depression and abandonment and, loss of parents, you name it, you think of it. So what I want to know from you is, I want you to talk to people and give them some type of motivation and encouragement to keep them going and keep them elevated, really.
Yeah. If you ever feeling any type of way, don't be afraid to reach out for help first and foremost because you as a person, you're here for a purpose, and don't let your purpose be overshone through dark thoughts in your mind. Um, don't be afraid to reach out to someone. If you have a really good friend or someone that you look up to, don't be afraid to reach out to them because you have a purpose and your purpose should be here living out whatever that is. So just be great and just seek any type of help that you may need because there are people out here that actually do care.
Most definitely, and I appreciate you for speaking on that. So I hope everybody that's tuning in, everybody that's watching, I hope you guys are gaining these tips and these advice. Like I tell y'all, advice ain't free. But like I said, I'm giving it to y'all because I'm Honcho J. All
Yeah.
right, so real quick, switching gears again. Speaking on social media and things of that nature, you mentioned TikTok. Are you a big avid TikToker?
I am the person that lurks on TikTok. I am going to get very active with it. I'm one of the people that just laugh at the little memes and stuff like that. But I'm actually going to get very active with that. I'm thinking about some challenges and stuff like that, giveaways with TikTok. So I know that's the wave right now. I know people are heavy on the TikTok. So be expecting Deja Monet on that TikTok very soon.
Okay, okay. So real quick, with all of the accomplishments, with all of everything that you've ever accomplished in your life, when it all reflects back to you as a woman, as you being in your own body, you know, again, what has all of this meant to you? And did you ever think that there was a moment in time where you would ever be at this status in your life?
Yes. I would say maybe 3 years ago. I know that's like, dang, 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago, I was really thinking about, I don't think I want to ever do music ever again because of a situation that I didn't feel like I won that moment. And it was like a concert that I did. I felt like I was terrible at what I did. And I'm like, I'm done with this music. And then I met a really great person. His name is Javon Mixed It. He was like, come to the studio. Let's work with you. And for a whole year straight, I was strictly in the studio with him, just working on music. And I said, you know what? I think I can do this. And so for after that whole year, which is last year, I put in so much work with my music to get right here where I am. And I'm still consistently working. And I feel really great that I didn't tell myself never again. I actually said, let me do this. And I feel really good about that. I'm glad I didn't give up on me.
Okay, okay. So now, a lot of artists go through this thing called writer's block. Has that ever happened to you at any point?
Oh, yes, it happens all the time. I absolutely hate it. It's the worst. And honestly, what I found is you just got to let that period uh, just run its course. Honestly, listen to some great music, listen to instrumental music. That always helps me. Not listening to anybody else's words. I watch TV to get creative ideas, stuff like that, but never force it, because if you force it, I feel like it only keeps you in that moment where you just can't come up with anything. Yes, I've been through it. It's awful.
Okay, okay. So now my next question is, whenever you decide to hang it all up, and you have accomplished everything that you ever want to accomplish in life, excuse me, what do you want the people specifically to remember about you and about your career and your life and your music as a whole?
Um, that it's not always easy in the beginning, but just because it's not easy, I never gave up. So you shouldn't give up, because we all have so many obstacles that we have to overcome. But if you just continue to jump over those hurdles, you're going to make it. I want people to know that I gave it my all. But honestly, music is a part of my life. I don't see myself ever hanging it up. Even if I may not do actual records, I see myself maybe mentoring other artists and things like that. I never could see myself out of the music at all.
Okay, and that's really good that you answered that, because that took me into my next question, because I was going to ask, when it with 2021 being here and us being in this new year, what other hidden talents or dreams or goals do you have that you set for yourself that you want to accomplish before 2021 is over?
Definitely tapping more into just engaging with my audience a lot more. I want the audience to see more of who I am, which is why I'm so thankful for platforms like this, because you get to really hear me outside of a song. You get to hear my actual thoughts. I'm speaking to the people. I want to tap in with my audience more. I want to grow as an artist. I want to see myself, actually doing shows now that things are opening up. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm very thankful for platforms like you, so I can, engage with my audience a little bit more.
Okay, okay, I feel that. I feel that. So now, my next question is, when it comes to, you know, just artists all around that you've seen and that you've been in the same vicinity of, you know, what goes through your mind when you see other artists perform and they go on stage and they do their thing? Like, how does that make you feel, knowing once again that you're in that industry, that you're in that conversation in a sense, and you're seeing your brothers and sisters really saying going to it, going forward.
Yeah, it makes me feel great to see another person just living their dreams out there doing their thing. It's amazing. It also motivates me when I see my brothers, my sisters, fellow artists. It really motivates me. Like if I'm just chilling and I see somebody post something, a TikTok maybe, or they're out doing a show, I'm like, man, I need to get out there and do some stuff too. So it also fuels me to like want to do more as an artist as well. And I just love to see it. Like I love it.
Okay, okay. Now, real quick, switching gears, I want to go back to family for a second because I didn't ask you this, but do you happen to have any siblings and any brothers or sisters?
I do. I have one sister. Her name is Simone, and she is my everything. She helps me. I don't know if you guys watch, but anytime I have like a behind the scenes that I post, that's her helping me out. She does. She's really great at nails. She is basically my nail tech, and she also helps me a lot behind the scenes with my music. So I really, really thank her a lot. If she's watching this right now, thank you, sis.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah,
now I want to ask you about this because we have this wave entitled Carolina Waves, and I'm sure you're familiar with Carolina Waves.
yeah.
With by the one and only Mir I Am from K97.5. For those of you that don't know, for all my new people, real quick, I gotta know from you, like, what's that like being able to go to functions like that, events like that, and be able to witness all of the greatness and the magic and the pandemonium behind it all.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see how many dope artists are here in North Carolina, all, amongst the wave. Miriam is awesome, and people like her giving, people here in North Carolina, artists, a chance is so amazing. And I just think it's a beautiful and a phenomenal thing to see so many artists being able to showcase their talents. So many cities and states don't have anything to support their artists. So I think that it's just a beautiful thing, honestly.
Okay, okay. Now, has there been any artists, whether it's local or entertainment wise, that you have thought to yourself like, yo, like I would love to open up for this person, or I would love to, be on stage with this person. Has there been anybody, or or you haven't gotten to that point yet?
I honestly haven't gotten to that point. I really want to get to a point where, you know, me myself can be a better performer where I can hold it down myself. Honestly, I work with a dope choreographer, and every other weekend we're like just really working on my craft, performances and things like that. And but I would love to work with other artists. Sharing the stage with other people is just a great momentum for the fans and for the supporters. So I don't have one person in mind, but I would love to share the stage with my fellow artists. It's always dope doing that.
Okay, okay. So real quick, now this is where we kind of where the heat continues to rise up a little bit. So I want to speak on love and relationships because that can go up and down from time to time. You have so many couples out here that are going through things. You have some couples out here that are they're not really having any issues. But what I want you to speak on is how do you feel about seeing couples out here succeeding and doing things together, basically being that power couple and really doing what they got to do to keep things afloat for themselves and their families and things of that nature.
I mean, I think love is a beautiful thing. So the relationships that actually are, just staying, to themselves, drama free. I love it. We need more of that, especially amongst our community of people, if you understand what I mean.
Right, right.
It's very important to start showing beautiful love versus the tainted love. All on social media, I always see is like, oh, toxic this, but what about beautiful this, happiness this? Because we need to leave our younger generation something, to live off of. We don't want to portray ourselves as, it's okay to be toxic, because it's not. Even though we all have some traits, but that shouldn't be the forefront. So I definitely salute all the beautiful couples that portray that beautiful love. That's what we need.
Okay, okay. Now on to you. Now, is there a special someone in Deja Monet's life that's been keeping you going and keeping you motivated?
I have people that love me, and just me as a person. I love to love people. But honestly, I just keep that part of myself to myself. But I do have people that do love me. I'm in a great place right now, and I truly thank everyone who does support me. And I just really don't like to tap into so much of my personal, because I am Deja Monet. I am a person who want to, definitely show front my artistry, and love is beautiful.
I completely understand that. Now, real quick, you spoke about you growing up in the church, or the church arena. Now, do you, let me ask this, because there are so many ways that this question can go, but I'm gonna get your perspective on it. We've had so many rappers, singers, R&B artists that have kind of crossed over and tapped into that gospel side. Do you feel like that's an issue or a problem with secular artists crossing over into the gospel world, or vice versa, the gospel world, transitioning over to the secular world? How do you feel about that?
I feel like art is art, and it's a shame that we as a society can't just be artists because of the mindset around gospel. Like, oh, if I'm a gospel artist, I can't explore into this. I think that's just a shame, because us as humans, we have different emotions. Yes, you may look up to a higher person, you believe in God, but why can't we, as you as a gospel artist, maybe transition into R&B or hip hop, because that's where you are. As long as you're being a great person within, and that you're a great person, I feel like you shouldn't be shunned away from doing R&B or anything of that nature, because we're all humans at the end of the day.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So real quick, I want to speak on a trending topic right now that has got the whole world buzzing. And I'm sure you've been hearing about it and have been seeing it. But a report has come out that Kurt Franklin, the one and only Kurt Franklin, has had this disagreement with his son. And there was a video that was leaked, and he was in the video cussing his son out, things of that nature. Now, with everybody that knows Kurt Franklin knows he's strictly gospel. He serves God and things of that nature. But what I want to know there again, going back to the church for a second, how do you feel when you hear or see something like that, and knowing that this artist is being targeted, not only by people around him, but by the media, by the press, social media, because everybody's taking it all kinds of ways. So how do you feel about that whole spectacle of what's going on with Kurt Franklin right now?
I feel like Kurt Franklin is a human first. He has the right to express himself to his family. It may have not been what we expected of him, because he is in the gospel light, but he's a human just like we are. And everybody does things when they're not in the forefront, so you
Right.
can't always look up to the gospel people to be like, oh my gosh, he's so holy. They are people at the end of the day. And it just sucks. I hate that stigma around gospel, like they have to just be one way, like they're not a human first. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Okay, okay. Now, speaking on gospel, has there been any gospel artists, that you have, that you grew up watching and listening to, that you say, you would love to be in the studio or, do a song with?
I absolutely, I grew up off of gospel. However, right now, I haven't had anyone reach out to me on the gospel realm of things. I would love to definitely tap into gospel, because I do have faith in God, and so that's not something that I would shun away from at all.
Okay. Okay. And so my last and final thing that I want to know from you is, what else other than the albums and the EPs can we be excited for? Like, what other hidden talents that people that may not know about can be on the lookout for?
Wow, this green
Excuse me.
light made me feel like I could possibly be an actor one day. So I might, tap into some movies or something. Uh,
Okay.
an acting coach, and yeah, we're not gonna speak that out of existence. That's gonna happen one day. So that made me feel really good, because I definitely did a little bit of acting in green light. So maybe acting.
Now, real quick, you say you did a little acting in that. Now, as I said, you to me, and from my point of view, my perspective, I seen you playing this, like you said, this badass, chick that was just, doing her thing. But what did it take for you to tap into that? I know that's not my last question, but what did it take for you to tap into that role and really just dominate and deliver like you do?
Wow. You know, that's a really great question. Just really, how did I tap into that person? I don't know. I don't know. I just really just stayed focused on set, and I had to give what it gave. So it did. I just really had fun, and that's what we had planned for the video to be, me being super badass. So just mentally preparing myself, like, you got to go in there and be confident in this role, because if you're not, it's going to show on camera. So just being able to be focused and just having fun. That's another thing. When you're doing something out of the norm, you just got to have fun with it. So that's what I did. I didn't think too much about it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely, respect that and feel you on that level. So real quick, before we go, where can the people follow you at? Where can they tap in with you at?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm very active on my Instagram. I'm also on Facebook at Deja Monet. And also I'm on all streaming platforms. That's like Apple, YouTube, Spotify, all that greatness. You can pretty much find me everywhere. So Twitter as well. Everything is the same, Deja.Monet 1996. So definitely hit me up, follow me. Yes.
Most definitely. But with that being said, we definitely appreciate all the time you've taken with us and sat down with us once again right here on Independent Scene the Podcast. I love having you on the show. It's truly a pleasure. I definitely am going to bring you back again as many times as you want to come back. The door is always open. You know what I'm saying? So real quick, ladies and gentlemen, this has been your boy, the one and only, and you are now tuned in to the latest, hottest, most episodic show on social media platforms. That is Independent Scene, the podcast. I want to thank you guys for tuning in this afternoon with my special guest, Deja Monet. We salute to you. Best to you. Know what I'm saying? Keep doing your thing. Keep grinding. Once again, Greenlight is out right now. Make sure you guys go and stream Greenlight. Let's run the numbers up. Let's keep it going. The hot, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you go and it's a dope song. You can go and dance to it. You can vibe to it, cook to it, cookouts, whatever you want to. However you want to use that song, you can do that with that song because it's like that. But with that being said, this has been my time. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time on another edition of Independent Scene the Podcast. Deja Monet, we love you, and we'll see you soon.
Bye. Thank you.
Yes, most definitely.